I have a hard time, and look, some guys' power rankings, great, and we'd love to have him on, not because we're trying to like attack him or anything.
No, we're going to bury him.
Well, that's fine. I would love to have an honest, like I'd love to ask some questions, right? And that would be one of them. If the only thing you can hang against Brock Purdy is his sample size, then what are we doing with Jordan Love 4 spots ahead?
Right.
That's question number one, right? What are we doing with that? If you're going to put Geno Smith 10th and Brock Purdy 23rd, what are we doing? Because if you like the larger sample size, I'd argue that Geno Smith's sample size is that more often than not in this league, he stinks.
Yeah, but last year he was better.
Yes, but last week he was awful.
Sure.
So I don't know. I just want to know criteria. That's all.
Right.
But the one thing I struggle with as we talk about Brock and the Niners, and TJ Hushmanzada was on with us yesterday, and my gosh, if you missed him, we have 2 things to play for you that if you're a Niner fan, you have got to hear. You have got to hear, and we have got to discuss. Xfinity Mobile text line. Our phone lines are always open and welcoming for you. We love it when you call in and interact. 888-957-9570. And, of course, everything is always going on YouTube and Twitch, powered by First NorCal Credit Union. The chat is underway. We're off and running. Let's do it. And we'll get to the TJ stuff here in just a second. The one thing that continually trips me up is the idea that quarterbacking in the NFL can be good for reasons other than being a good quarterback. In other words, it can be coaching, it can be teammates, and if you've got really good stuff there, you too can become a really good quarterback in the NFL. I've racked my brain thinking for a comp. I've racked my brain, not for somebody who won 1 Super Bowl by throwing out patterns with an elite defense. I want somebody who over a long period of time was a very good quarterback, but he wasn't actually a good quarterback. He simply had good teammates and a good coach.
Yeah.
Who is it?
Eli Manning.
Ooh.
Eli Manning is the answer. Eli Manning, you already put him in the Hall of Fame, and the reason is because he won 2 Super Bowls.
Right.
And if you look at Eli Manning's career in terms of numbers and overall efficiency, his winning percentage for his career, 500. He won 117. He lost 117. He was over 67% passing 0 times in his career.
Correct.
He was a 60% passer for his career. He threw 244 interceptions. He led the league 3 times. He was not, in my opinion, an elite quarterback, but he has a great last name, and he won 2 Super Bowls, and so many people think that puts you in the Hall of Fame. Well, Eli Manning is the answer to your question.
Well, except for does it, because I guess
Jim Plunkett's a better quarterback than Eli Manning, and he's not in the Hall of Fame.
But you're presupposing that I think Eli Manning's an elite quarterback.
Well, you already said that he's going to the Hall of Fame.
And as you know, what's my opinion of the Hall of Fame?
You hate the Hall of Fame.
I don't care.
You hate all the Halls of Fame.
Everybody gets to go in. All of you.
And I guess the Hall of Fame argument is not the end-all, be-all in this conversation, because I do believe the reason why he will go in the Hall of Fame is because of his last name. And Phillip Rivers, who was a better quarterback than Eli Manning, I don't think that he was never the best quarterback in football, in his conference, or most times not even in his own division. But he played a long time, and he's got great numbers. And so, you're going in too. Eli Manning is the answer to your question. Well, if Eli Manning didn't win 2 Super Bowls, he would be just another guy.
I guess like it's an interesting name to bring up, but I don't view him as an elite quarterback. When I say he's going to the Hall of Fame, I'm just giving you the facts. He's going to the Hall of Fame.
Oh, I know.
He won 2 Super Bowls.
Sure.
Yeah. But
4-time Pro Bowler.
And he's good. He's a good quarterback.
He was fine.
He's good. He's a good quarterback.
He was good because he got to keep his job for a long time and he won 2 Super Bowls.
Well, if you win and you keep your job, that's good.
If you want to look at his numbers based on everything we talk about in terms of who's good and who's not good, 60% completion percentage is not good.
Okay.
And 244 picks in 234 games, that's a pick a game. That's Sam Darnold.
But what's interesting...
Eli Manning is Sam Darnold.
Okay,
great.
I
said it.
But I'm going to go back to the question now.
Right.
The question is, when was somebody really good based on coaching and teammates? Your argument is...
Eli Manning.
No, your argument is he's not good.
No, the only reason why he's as good...
That eliminates him from the conversation.
The reason why he's as good as he was because of exactly what you said.
Not what I'm asking.
No, that's the answer because he's considered good based on teammates.
No, he's not. No, he's considered good
because the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, they won 2 Super Bowls.
Right.
That's it.
Because of coaching and defense.
But you're saying he's not good.
He's not.
Great. Then he's eliminated.
Opinion.
He's eliminated from my question.
Everybody else thinks that he's good. You think he's good?
He's good.
Right.
He's good. Yeah.
Based on coaching and defense.
But he's eliminated from my conversation because if you're going to use numbers, which you just did for your argument, then we have to use Brock's numbers. I would like someone
way better.
Right. So give me someone who has Brock's numbers who isn't actually good. He simply had good teammates and a good coach. Because that is what we're being told Brock Purdy is.
Right.
He's actually not good. He is a concoction. He is fake news. He is a creation of our imagination because of his surroundings. He is the best house on the block, but it's actually the slums. It's all like he's only high priced because of what's going on around him. That's different. That's different. And that's what I am like completely focused on dispelling. Take a listen now. TJ Houshmandzadeh, NFL wide receiver, very good analyst now. Brandon Ayuk's personal wide receiver coach. We love talking to TJ. He was on with us yesterday. Here we go. One of 2 things you've got to hear if you missed it yesterday. This is what he said about Brock Purdy.
Because he doesn't pass the eye test, he's not 6'3", doesn't have a cannon arm, he's not unathletic, but he's not extremely athletic. Those guys will always get overlooked. And this is what I hate. They'll always say for Brock Purdy, he's an overachiever. Nah, he's not an overachiever. You just evaluated him wrong. That's all that is. They'll always call him an overachiever. He's not an overachiever. He was just evaluated wrong. And so I believe you would have to see Brock play, in essence, a full season. So let's see what he can do with 17 games. I'm going to just take a guess and say in 17 games, he's probably going to go 14-3, 13-4, because I don't count the Eagles game in the play. He got hurt, although he started the game, and that's a loss on his ledger. I don't really count that, but Brock Purdy looks like he's the goods. And the 49ers, you got a guy on the second year of his deal, you can really just load up and make the team better around him because he's making minimum.
I love it. He's been misevaluated, and he continues to suffer from draftism, and it is absolutely my belief that it is going to be this way for a while. And what I mean by that is he's going to continue to rise in the minds of many, but it's always going to remain a little bit below what it should because of where he came from. And as TJ just said, because he was misevaluated, and the only way you can shake this, because Brady went through it too, and I have no idea what Brock's career is going to look like as far as an arc. The only way you can shake this is to not win once. You got to win multiple times. You have to do it for a long time. You have to be there every year in the conversation. You don't have to win it every time, but you got to win a bunch. If you
he's got to win one first.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. No, my point is he's going to suffer from draftism until there are multiple rings on his fingers. I don't know if there ever will be. I don't know if he's ever going to get one.
I think he suffers from draftism until he gets paid. And once he gets that contract, I don't think that anybody's going to worry about where he was drafted. Like Kirk Cousins, we don't talk about where he was drafted. He's been paid. And the other quarterbacks around the league where they were drafted, we don't talk about it as much anymore because they've been paid. Like Pat Mahomes, we don't dwell on where he was drafted. We all know that 9 teams or 10 teams passed up on Patrick Mahomes, including Kyle Shanahan. And we know that here because we're one of the teams that passed up on Patrick Mahomes. But
he's won a couple bowls.
Right.
So that
Burrow hasn't.
Nobody's thinking about
Cousins
drafts.
hasn't.
Right.
And Deshaun Watson hasn't.
But we don't look at those guys the same.
Right.
We don't look at Kirk Cousins as a great quarterback.
No, but we look at him as a guy who's been paid, and he got a massive deal.
Great.
And so
did Daniel Jones.
Right, but we don't think about where they were drafted because now they've been paid. And once Brock Purdy gets that check, and I do agree with what TJ said in terms of, right now they can load up all around Brock Purdy because he's on that rookie deal. And that's part of the conversation. Right now, Brock Purdy is going to play with more talent than he ever will once he gets that check.
That's an interesting way to come at it in terms of like getting paid. I don't, my mind doesn't go there at all. Daniel Jones got paid. Derek Carr's been paid.
Sure.
I think anybody who would take those two players over Brock Purdy right now is crazy.
No, my point is we don't talk about where those guys were drafted anymore. And I know Brock is unique because he was Mr. Irrelevant.
But we do a little bit. Everybody you just mentioned was a first, second, or third rounder. All of them.
Right.
They're all first, second, or third rounders.
Yeah, but we don't talk about it anymore because they've been paid. And Brock Purdy will forever be a part of his story because it's very unique that he was Mr. Irrelevant, and Mr. Irrelevant has never thrown a pass in the league, let alone won a playoff game. And I get that. So it's always going to be a part of his deal. But in 2 or 3 years, when he gets that $50 million deal to be the Niners QB, it's going to be less about draft time.
Yeah, I respectfully disagree. I don't think it has anything to do with money. These guys, just about every single person we're talking about, drafted in round 1, round 2, or round 3. And right now, for instance, just as an example, but I do think that this spreads to a lot of people, this power ranking situation from Bleacher Report, every single name you just brought up, they're all ahead of Brock Purdy.
Right.
And I don't understand how one person, give me one rational sentence on any of these guys that has Jordan Love or Daniel Jones or Kenny Pickett ahead of Brock Purdy. Give me one rational, if you were him, can you even, and I'm not saying it's not your opinion, I know it's not, but give me a guess as to what this human being would say as to why, other than draftism, that you would put any of these guys ahead of Brock Purdy.
Well, the reason would be because you discount what Brock does because of the talent around him and the system.
And
that's why.
And that's what I'm trying to access, and
I'm just telling you that from afar, that would be the opinion. If you don't watch Brock Purdy and you look at Debo and Brandon and George and Trent and Kyle and the other Kyle and all the Kyles and Christian and all the rest of them, you would think, well, I mean, Brock Purdy, of course, Mr. Irrelevant. Who couldn't do that in San Fran?
Misevaluated.
San Fran on purpose.
Yeah. Well done.
Thank you.
Misevaluated.
Yeah?
To me, look, it's not like I was sitting here. Kruger is the one. I'll give credit to Kruger. He was the one who said it first. I didn't know a damn thing about Brock Purdy. So this isn't an I was right, but this is, in my opinion, a lot of other people failing to use the 3 most powerful words in the English language when put together. I was wrong. That's the only reason that we can still talk about this guy this way. Listen to Kyle Shanahan. He was asked if Brock Purdy was able to jump into his system. This is another one I love. Well, he played 4 years of college. Is that why he's good, Kyle? Because he played so many college football games?
I don't know. It's how you play quarterback at a high level. Where does that come from? Sometimes experience, sometimes because you're just good at it, but he's playing at a high level because he's good at quarterback.
Yeah, he's good. I don't know. Why is it so hard for people to say?
Well,
I don't get it.
And Kyle's not discounting 4 years of college. He's just not. He's saying,
not?
No, he's saying, I don't know if it might be that. It might be he's just good at what he does. He's not saying that 4 years of college has nothing to do with it.
Let's hear it again.
Play it again.
I don't know. It's how you play quarterback at a high level. Where does that come from? Sometimes experience, sometimes because you're just good at it, but he's playing at a high level because he's good at quarterback.
He's playing at a high level because he's good.
Sometimes experience is what he says.
No,
and
but
the experience of playing 56 games at D1, that is experience and that matters.
Yeah, I don't translate that way at all. But
how do you translate that when he says sometimes experience?
Okay, one more time. Asked if is he successful because he's played so much?
I don't know.
I don't know.
How you play quarterback at a high level. Where does that come from? Sometimes experience, sometimes because you're just good at it, but he's playing at a high level because he's good at quarterback.
And then he circles it. Yeah, sometimes it's this, sometimes it's that. My opinion is he's good because he's good. Like
right. That's Kyle in a nutshell.
That's what he said.
Sure.
Those are his words.
Yeah.
Do you know how many players in this league have played 4 years of college and then got to the NFL and stunk butt?
Do you know how many haven't played 4 years in college and have come on and played great? A lot.
Yeah.
Josh Allen would be one.
Oh.
And it took him some time to get the experience in his first year and a half or 2 years.
Josh Allen played a lot of college football.
He played 2 years. He didn't play 4.
Okay. And I know he didn't play at a big-time university.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I've never heard that. That's a thing because of who he was being compared to. He was being compared to Trey Lance for so long.
Sure.
I don't, like, many quarterbacks, when they come into the league, they have played a lot of big-time college football.
Right.
Why...
Deshaun Watson,
let's talk
Trevor
about
Lawrence.
Why is Justin Fields not succeeding? What's the problem? He played big-time college football and a lot of it.
Yeah,
a lot of it.
He didn't play
Two different
NFL
big-time.
style. He did not play.
He didn't?
In an NFL style drop back in the pocket sort of system.
Two different huge universities. Massive game every single weekend.
Yeah.
He should be able to walk
dominating college kids with athleticism. And you come to the NFL and you try and do the same thing, and it's a little bit tougher.
He should be able to play amazing right away.
Yeah.
But he's not.
Yeah, because it's different when you play that style of football.
I'm not here to disparage any other quarterback. What I'm trying to figure out is why on earth this guy can play so well, and we hear each week all of the reasons why it doesn't actually count. It's not credit. It's, well, McCaffrey's there, and Kyle Shanahan's amazing, and good teammates. 4 years of college. Remember, there was that. 4 years of I don't know. You tell me. When do we get to the point where we just go, Brock's really good? He's really good. And I think there are a lot of 49er fans who are already there. But I loved what TJ said yesterday, because to me, that's what has taken place here. And I think a good portion of the NFL world has not arrived there yet. Brock Purdy was completely misevaluated. And when you play at this level and you play this well, whether it's 8-game stretch, 10-game stretch, whatever, I don't know, man. That's my take. I think it means you're a really good quarterback.
No, he's really good. I mean, he's probably the best ever. I'm just kidding, Mark. I'm just kidding. He's really good. But I think to look at what he did in college and think that experience doesn't count, I think is a little bit short-sighted. And yes, Kyle's right. He's good at quarterbacking because he's a good quarterback. And it's so simplistic, but Kyle's right. You can't be a quarterback in the NFL and do as well as he has unless you're good at playing quarterback.